Sup, this is Alex Chu coming at you with another episode. This episode, I want to talk about Tesla Coil. I want to talk about what Tesla Tower really is like. See, there's a lot of people out there who talk about Tesla technology, Tesla, the what do you call that, Wardenclyffe Tower. It produces free energy. They have no idea what they're talking about. Today, I'm going to tell you exactly what Wardenclyffe Tower is for, okay? But before I talk about that, I want to tell you, my name's Alex Chu. I'm the guy who invented physical mortality rings. These are rings that you put on your small finger string sleep. You wear them, you don't age anymore. You become physically immortal. For example, I'm already 51. I mean, in 4 or 5 days, I'll be 51, okay? Look at my belly, still pretty skinny, right? That means I really don't work out. If you go to my website, livemuchlonger.com, I have lots of testimonials on my website. Most of them give me 4-star, 5 stars. So if you're interested, go to livemuchlonger.com, livemuchlonger.com. Link is at the bottom of this video. Yeah, oh, fuck, man. Yeah, I watch many videos, people talking about the Tesla Coil. You know, I'm not talking about the tabletop one. I'm talking about his Wardenclyffe Tower that he built in 1901. It was torn down in 1917 by, because J.P. Morgan stopped the funding. A lot of people say that thing produces free energy. No, there's no such thing as free energy. I watched so many videos, I realized none of these scientists know what the fuck they're talking about, you know? It's just, I don't know why, only I know, for some reason, only I understand Tesla. Because, maybe it's because I'm an inventor. He's also an inventor. Inventors think alike, you know? And these scientists, they're not inventors. They're just like mathematicians. They're like physicists. But then they don't really have any creativity, you know? But anyway, I'm going to tell you exactly what that tower is for and how it works, okay? Okay, most people know Tesla Coil, okay? They know Nikola Tesla, they know the Tesla Coil. But most people don't understand why Nikola Tesla decided to build this tower. You know, the Wardenclyffe Tower. He convinced J.P. Morgan to give him funding, right? So he started building this Wardenclyffe Tower in 1901, okay? Most people don't really understand how this tower works. They just think that a tower shoots out electricity and there's free energy. No, there's no such thing as free energy. I'm going to explain to you exactly how this tower works so everything makes sense to you, okay? You must understand, if you look at the original design of the Wardenclyffe Tower, it has a shaft. It has a 100 feet shaft that goes underground. And in that shaft, Tesla would put like a very long cable, copper or brass cable all the way down underground where it touches the well water, where the water table meets, So this copper cable has to, go all the way underground, at least 100 feet deep, and it touches the groundwater. And then Tesla Tower, it functions like one of those hand pump well, these the 18th century or 17th century hand pump well. The primary coil is the hand pump, It pumps electrons out of the ground, so that electrons would be pumped out and to be distributed as free energy. Tesla believed that because of lightning, Tesla see that, oh, there's lightning. When it rains, right, Tesla see lightning. So this means that the Earth, there's electrons inside the Earth, okay? See, lightning, okay, based on what I know, all right? A lot of scientists would disagree with me. Lightning, when there's water, when there's heavy cloud in the sky, right? So it becomes very conductive. So what happened is electrons in the Earth's crust, right? They fly upward. Electrons would fly upward. It burns a cloud. Okay, it burns the cloud in the sky, and then electrons would fly down back to Earth. So it's a round trip. It's electrons flying flying from the Earth, okay, touches the cloud, burns the cloud, and then fly back to the Earth, okay. So a lot of scientists don't believe that. That's my theory, okay. A lot of scientists don't believe that. I would say 99% of the scientists don't believe in my theory, okay, but that's my theory. And that's probably Tesla theory, you understand? Tesla probably think like me, because I'm an inventor. Tesla is also an inventor. I'm very sure he thinks like me, okay? So Tesla believed that there's electrons in the ground. You must understand that. There's electrons in the ground. How come there's electron in the ground? Because Earth has different crust, you know? The Earth's core turns faster than the Earth's crust. Basically, the Earth's core rubs against the Earth's crust, right? And that creates lots of energy, you understand? And therefore, there's electrons inside the ground. That's what Tesla believes in, okay? That's the reason why he dug a 100 feet shaft, you know, all the way into the ground, and then put cables in there. And then the Tesla coil is the pump, you understand? So the primary coil, you know, is to pump out electrons from the ground, okay, and then distribute it, you know, to users. But of course, this whole thing failed at the end. The reason is because J.P. Morgan, you know, once J.P. Morgan found out how stupid this idea is, you know, like first of all, I'm gonna have to pay for this tower, right, to build this tower, and then after I built this tower, we're gonna have to produce electricity to run the generator, which runs propels the primary coil, right, to pump out electrons from the ground. And after we pump out electrons from the ground, we're giving it away for free. We're giving away free electrons to users nearby, right? And we cannot even charge them money because we cannot tap a meter on the thing. That's the reason why J.P. Morgan, you know, abandoned this project, because this is a stupid idea. It is a stupid idea. What Tesla should have done is to tap a meter on the Tesla coil. Yeah, you can pump electrons out of the ground, right? But then you have to add cables to it. You have to add a meter, and then you have to add cables to this Tesla coil, you know, and you distribute it to people's homes. You using traditional method, right? You use cables, use wires, right, to distribute it to people's homes to power their electrical equipments, right? I mean, you don't have to build this tower to, you know, to basically shoot out millions of watts of free electrons to anybody who can just basically collect electrons for free. No, you have to put a meter on it, and then you have to, you know, distribute this source of energy using cables and wires, right, to people's homes, right? If Tesla would budge, right, Tesla would just listen to J.P. Morgan and say, okay, I'm gonna alter the blueprint a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna, instead of sending out this electrons for free as a wireless energy, I'll add cables to it, so you could put on a meter, you know, tap a meter on it, and you know, if he's willing to do that, then J.P. Morgan would have said, okay, you know, continue on with the project. But here's the thing, though, this cannot prove that Tesla's theory works. You know, the reason is because, first of all, we have to use electrons to run this, to propel this primary coil, right? Let's say we use a generator to propel this primary coil, and the generator 10 kilowatts every hour to run the primary coil, right? But then we can only pump out we can only pump out around 10 kilowatts of energy. Then this whole thing doesn't work. Then the whole thing is not worth it. You understand? We use 10 kilowatts of energy to pump out only 10 kilowatts of energy from the ground. Then does it work? No, it doesn't work. But Tesla theory is there's electrons in the ground, okay? So if we use 10 kilowatts of energy to pump out like 100 kilowatts of energy or something, like you pump out water, you know, using those hand pump well to pump out water. If you use 10 kilowatts of energy to pump out 100 kilowatts of electrons, then it's worth it. Am I right? Then you're talking about a ratio of 1 to 10. Then it's worth it. But then you don't really know how much energy, I mean, nobody has done this experiment yet, because Tesla tried this experiment, but then, JP Morgan shut them down. You don't know if the electrons that you pump out from the ground would basically cover the cost, like if you use, just like what I said, if you use 10 kilowatts to run this generator, right? And then you can only pump out 10 kilowatts, then it's not worth it. It's not worth the energy. A lot of kids, they buy these tabletop Tesla coil, right? Like 1 feet tall, 1 foot tall Tesla coil. They're toys, right? And of course, when they turn it on, you put a light bulb near it, and it shines. See, those kind of tabletop toys, they don't need a cable that you insert into the ground. Okay, it's basically, I mean, those tabletop toys are like a vacuum. They vacuum electrons from your surrounding. It vacuums large amounts of electrons from the surrounding, and then pump it back out at the top. So at the bottom, it collects electrons from your surrounding and then pump it back out from the top. That's the reason why if you put a light bulb near it, you can see it shine, right? But this tabletop toy it's not a pump. You understand? It's not a hand pump that pumps out electrons from the ground. You probably have to use like 100 watts of power, okay? You have to burn up 100 watts of power just to make a 60 watts light bulb shine. So it's totally not worth it. It's just a toy. It doesn't save anybody any money. The real Tesla core in the Wardenclyffe tower, has a coil that goes all the way to the ground. That Tesla think could pump out electrons from the ground. But I don't know. I think this is a dumb idea. I don't think it's gonna work. Because even if you pump out electrons from the ground, right, it doesn't prove that this thing can save money. Because if, just like what I said, if you have to use 10 kilowatts of power to pump out only 10 kilowatts of electrons, then this whole thing failed. You understand? I mean, if you use 10 kilowatts of power to pump out 20 kilowatts of energy, then hey, you know what? Then it's a success. It's a success, right? Use only 10 kilowatts of power to pump out 20 kilowatts of energy. That's a success. But if you have to consider the maintenance, you have to consider the maintenance cost, okay? You have to consider the parts, For example, sometimes you need repairs and stuff like that. You have to put all that into consideration. Honestly speaking, I mean, I would just focus on wind energy, the wind turbines or solar energy. But I mean, I'm not sure. If people, maybe in the future, people might reconsider. Just do what I say instead of building a tower that distribute wireless energy. They have to add like a meter to it and then just distribute it using traditional cable, to people's homes. Then, hey, you know what? It might be a worthy experiment. I think another reason why JP Morgan decided to shut down the thing is because there's also health concerns. Back in the days when Tesla was building his other laboratories that had a Tesla coil, nearby farmers were complaining that when they wake up in the morning, they step on wet ground and they felt electrical jolt, or when they touch metal object, they felt a shock, stuff like that. So there's like health concerns, and also I believe Tesla coil should be built in the 0-degree latitude. I'm talking about if you look at the world map, anything that's in the middle, like the Middle East, the Northern Africa. I'm talking about the middle portion of the United States, Or in China, it's like Shanghai, those kind of places, Tibet. Only the 0 degree latitude area is fit for, construction of the Tesla tower. The reason is because in 0 degree latitude, those places have the most friction. I mean, the Earth's core rub against the Earth's crust, right? Those places, it has the most friction. It produces the most electrons. If you build a Tesla tower like in the North Pole or in the South Pole, it doesn't make any sense because those places have less friction. It produces very, very little electricity in North or South Pole. So you cannot build this kind of stuff anywhere. You cannot just build this anywhere. No, no. You have to select a certain place on Earth to build it. And I also believe that it depends on where you build it. If the place where you build it, it has a lot of ore mines like silver or gold mines. It's like if the soil is rich of ore, then that's a good candidate. That's a good place to build a Tesla tower. It depends. I mean, it's like you're searching for oil. Which part of Earth has more oil? Which part of Earth contains more electricity? It's very, very complicated. So that's the reason why this is how Tesla Coil is about. But anyway, I'll talk to you next time.